Hello again, it's good to see you. I hope that you're having an awesome day today. Thank you so much for taking time out to see where I am with Pan That Palette for April. I know that I'm a little bit early than I typically film for this update, but I really wanted to go on and post the progress because my plan for the Get Ready With Me's is to have a chattier video and walk you through how I'm using the palette, so I didn't want to spoil the progress by having it in those videos and then having a redundant update. So we're just gonna go on and do the update now because I've had some progress. And as far as today, makeup is very, very minimal. I haven't been feeling the best today. I've been fighting a pretty bad headache. So again, it just seemed like a perfect time for me to post the Pan That Palette update, and that way as I do the Get Ready With Me's. The Get Ready With Me, I'm hoping to have up tomorrow. So it's that smoky candied violet look I kind of walked you through with my April makeup bag, but today, very, very simple. All I've got on, the highlight of this look, I really felt inspired this morning to wear my 100% pure cocoa butter matte lipstick in the shade Blood Orange. I just love how saturated this color is, how pigmented it is, and after I put it on, I just decided minimal is key today. So as far as the rest of my makeup, I've got on my IT Cosmetics CC Plus Radiance Ombre Bronzer used as a blush slash bronzer on my face. I've got this Revlon Color Stay Eye Kajal in the shade Evergreen. It's a very strong teal color as my liner on my upper lash line. And then my 100% Pure Cosmetics mascara in the shade Black Tea. Very, very minimal with chocolate bar. All I did was I used Triple Fudge in my brows, and I've got a very light dusting of white chocolate all over my eye area, just to kind of, very basic, very, very basic. But I'm loving how polished and glam it looks, even though I'm not feeling the greatest today. So as for where I was for the month of March, let's go on and check out that progress, and then I'll show you where I am with my palette currently. All right, and here is where I am for the moment. I've really realized when it comes to this palette, if I only used this palette for the year, I would be very stuck. So if you are panning this along with me, I highly, highly suggest bringing in other shades to pan along with this palette, because one of the things I've noticed, I totally agree. Like, I went back through a lot of Angela's updates as she went through the chocolate bar back in 2014. I will go on and link her channel in the description box below if you have not had the chance to see her, to watch how she panned the Too Faced chocolate bar palette. But I have to admit that I cannot agree more with what she said of once you hit pan in the chocolate bar shades, it feels like you come to a dead standstill. And then, you know, all of a sudden you'll make some big progress. I mean, I have made big progress because, as you can see, I finally hit pan in white chocolate, which is, you know, really, I wondered when it would happen because I've literally used this just about every day as a base shade since the beginning of the year. I mean, I took off a little bit of time to use the Strawberry Bonbon shade, but seriously, it's taken me this long. And then with Salted Caramel, literally, I've used this as a crease shade for the majority so far of 2017, and I've still got a lot of shadow in there. I was finally able to hit pan in Hot Chocolate. I've noticed that that shade is a little bit dense and, dare I say, kind of sticky. Have any of you experienced that as well with your shadow? I don't know. It's kind of, you know, it's not hard pan, but it's just, it feels kind of a little bit of a weird texture when it goes on the eye. I don't know. Like, let me know if you've experienced that as well. And then so far I've made some additional progress on Semi-Sweet, and then I've made a really big change down here in Champagne Truffle. But again, Too Faced shadows are no joke because I've literally used this as a face highlight and a highlight shade since January 1st. And literally, like, look at how much eyeshadow is in that pan. It is a lot. Now, as far as making big progress on this Framboise shade that I brought in from the Too Faced Shadow Bonbons palette, I've hit substantial pan on this because that pan is smaller than these rectangle pans. And of course, when you repress a shadow, it's going to be a little bit looser than when it's originally packed. So I've been able to make significant progress, and I really feel like I have the potential to finish this by the end of April. So that's again why I wanted to get this video up, so that I can film those couple of get ready with me's if you're wanting some additional ideas of how to pan your chocolate bar palette. Then of course I was able to make huge progress and finally finish off Milk Chocolate. I really enjoy that shade, but that's why I'm now working on my It Cosmetics bronzer to just move out, because literally I could move this out by the end of the month. And then I'm slowly but surely making some more progress on Triple Fudge. But again, like, I feel like now that I've hit pan in these shades, it's just so slow going. And I haven't really used Marzipan all that much, maybe a couple of times as kind of a highlighting shade in preparation for another Get Ready With Me using the Candied Violet kind of vibes. So this is where I am currently with my palette. I mean, it's going okay, but like I said, you know, March and April are kind of the times of panning that palette. I know for me, I kind of hit the doldrums, if you will, kind of the lull where I just feel like, you know, and then it'll happen about September, October again. But definitely just kind of a tip, if you are hitting a brick wall, because I know Heidi's been hitting a brick wall, I know several others of you have been hitting brick walls, definitely bring in another palette to use along with it, and just make sure that you're using 1 or 2 shades, and you'll still make the progress that you're craving, but still give yourself a little bit of variety. Because I definitely noticed if I forced myself to use this palette straight for a whole year, I would not be successful, because it's taking me a long time to get through some of these shades, especially in comparison to going through Lorac shades and all that. So just kind of tip for thought, or food for thought, if you will, kind of going into the next month. I'm very excited about the next look that I have planned, but definitely like bring in some other shadows if you are feeling stuck, and that will help it go a lot easier and give you some more expansion into other palettes if you're wanting to make some progress. So that's about it for now. I hope that you are enjoying panning, that you are having fun shopping your stash. I wish you all the best in panning your palette. Lots of luck to you, because I mean, it is so worthwhile going through this whole realizing what your style is and what you want out of your eyeshadow. But we all hit those roadblocks, and I'm definitely kind of feeling it right now. I'm just feeling a little bit bored. So go on and check the description box below for Angela's videos. And in fact, Angela had a great idea as she was panning her chocolate bar, that she would use her palette 5 days a week, and then she would take 2 days off to just use whatever she wanted. And then later on in the year, she went through a chocolate bar blitz period where she would focus solely on 1 or 2 shades out of the palette. So I don't know, I'm not really needing a break, but at the same time, I think that's a good idea if you're also experiencing kind of a weird moment with your palettes, whether it's Too Faced or whether it's anything else in your collection. So that's about it for now. Take care. Don't forget, check out her videos in the description box below. And as far as the look coming, I did focus it solely on the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, because I mean, the shades are like Candied Violet, Semi-Sweet, Triple Fudge, Salted Caramel, Champagne Truffle, and then I did bring in the teal shade and black from my Lorac Mega Pro palette. But I will talk about some other shades that you can sub in if the chocolate bar is not currently the palette that you're working on, or maybe if you don't own it, you have something else that is quite similar in your collection. So take care for now, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow with that Get Ready With Me. So catch you later.